everybody, it's Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. I am so glad you guys could join me today. I have got a fabulous video. I have 4 cards to share with you today. I went a little crazy. We're going to learn a new technique today called the packing tape technique, also known as a shipping tape technique. I think you're going to love this one. This is a great way to add some real quick glimmer, shimmer, and shine and bling to a card. It really is fantastic. We're going to create some windows, and using packing tape, we are going to make some amazing looking cards. These are the cards that when you mail them to your friends, they're going to go, wow, how did you do that? And we love that response, right? Okay, I'm excited to share with you how to create these cards, so let's get started. All right, guys, I am so excited to share today's technique with you. This is called the packing tape technique. You can see, actually, all the cards are exactly the same. They really are. I just used punches on my first 2 cards, and I used dies on my other 2 cards. You've got a lot of options with your dies and your punches. They're all going to work with this one. By the way, all 4 of my cards today are flashcards. So we'll be showing this card today and how simple it is to make a nice, clean, simple, but a wow card. You're going to love that it does not take a lot of supplies to create the card. Guys, my card base is 4 1/4 by 11 inches, scored at 5 1/2 inches, although you could also use a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. Either card base will work. I did say it was a flash card. I'm going to be using Whisper White and Soft Sea Foam. My Whisper White is 2 1/2 inches by 4 inches. My Soft Sea Foam is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. I'm going to be using the Pine Tree Punch, and then my sentiment is going to come from Itty Bitty Christmas. The first thing I want to do is punch that tree from my Whisper White cardstock. Now, I'm going to line this up from side to side here in my punch. That's going to ensure that I have that tree centered. I've pushed that in as far as it will go, and then I punched out my tree. And this is a little long for me. I'm going to cut this down to 3 1/4 inch. And then I'll take that Soft Sea Foam and cut it down to 3 3/4 inch. All right, now for the official packing tape technique. I'm going to use a silicone mat because I'm going to take my packing tape and I'm going to cover this area. Now, when you do this technique, whatever image you're going to be using can't be any bigger than a piece of packing tape because seams just don't look nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay that packing tape right there. Now you see why I wanted the silicone mat, because I don't want that to stick to my paper, my grid paper, anything like that. I have the packing tape side up, and I'm going to come in with some of our red rhinestones. And guys, I am simply going to lay these on the packing tape. Now remember, these are also adhesive backed, but we're going to decorate our tree. So let me add, I don't know, about 7 or 8 little wonderful little Christmas berries or ornaments, and we're going to add these to our tree. As you're decorating, you want to avoid touching the packing tape, okay? So let's do our best to avoid touching that. I'm going to be using Stampin' Up's Ice Glitter. All right, now your regular Dazzling Diamonds glitter will work on this too. I just love kind of the extra chunky, extra glittery look of this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle that right here onto my tree. I'm going to just give that a press. I'm going to press that glitter down onto the packing tape. I will shake off the excess, and you do want to give it a nice little tap. Let's make sure all that excess is off. We'll pour this back into the jar. And now I'm going to come in with a soft suede ink pad, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment, Season's Greetings. This is from the Itty Bitty Christmas. And guys, it is time to put this card together. A little snail here on the back of my Soft Sea Foam, and I'm just going to add that here to the front of my card base. That glitter image is going to be put on with Stampin' Dimensionals. The dimension from the dimensionals is what really makes this card kind of a little extra special, and we'll adhere that onto our card. Now, every tree needs a star. And in the Holiday 2019 catalog, we have these gorgeous star designer elements, also adhesive back. I'm going to add that star to the top of my tree. And there we go. Can you see the dimension? You see the glitter coming through that packing tape. So for this card, you notice I let the soft sea foam kind of be the main color of my tree. Now this card I did with the Christmas Gleaming bundle, but you notice that I stamped the ornament from that Whisper White. I stamped it in Pretty Peacock. There's my gorgeous punch. I'm simply going to trim this down to size. Where you trim it is totally dependent on where your punch landed. So I always like to just cut my Whisper White first, then I can cut down my Pretty Peacock, just like so. Guys, I'm gonna do my packing tape technique the exact same way. And you notice on this one, we have a little piece of the Old Olive Pretty Peacock reversible ribbon. I'm going to add that ribbon right there. Give that a really nice press. That's on there well. Sprinkle on that glitter. Tap off the excess. Now to make sure my ornament goes where I need it to go, I'm going to add a little snail to the back. Not to the front, to the back. And I'm just going to kind of line that up there in the punched area. And I'm going to center that up. And then I can remove that, but I'm sure that's set where I want it. Let's add dimensionals, and then we can add our glittered piece. Do you see how it kind of sets behind? Very, very nice. Now here you can see, I just added my image to a Mary Merlot cardstock. That is a 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. This little image also came from the Christmas Gleaming stamp set, and I thought it just kind of polished it off nicely. Now these two cards, I do just want to tell you a couple things that I did. These were all done with the stitched rectangle dies, and you can see I just simply made a frame from my dies and from the middle of my cardstock. But that meant that my packing tape showed. Ooh, tacky, tacky. So you can see here, I did add an additional piece of cardstock, the same size or same color as my card base. And I just cut that down to 3 3/4 by 5 inch. So you see it covered everything up, but look at that, so pretty. Same thing here on this card, and you notice this one, I cut 4 1/4 by 11 inches. Get creative with your measurements. There's no right or wrong here. But the thing I needed you to know about these cards is we cut the window directly from the card base, where you notice here, we cut from a layer. All right, there you go, guys. I mean, talk about your over-the-top wow cards. And what's great is it was all done with simple shipping tape, packing tape. Oh my gosh. Now, the one tip I want to make sure to reiterate, your image that you die cut or punch cannot be wider than your packing tape, because we won't have glitter there. Now, I have tried to create one and leave a seam and try to add 2 pieces. Didn't work, sorry. The seam showed it was tacky. We don't do tacky. So if you can find wider packing tape, I say go for it. But guys, really, there are so many dies and so many punches that will fit in this size. And the wow impact of these cards is just unbelievable. I mean, what recipient is not going to go, oh my gosh, how did you do that? It sparkles and it shines. Now remember, you can use any type of glitter on the packing tape technique. But I do want to point out that ice, that little bit chunkier glitter is so nice. Now guys, I don't know if it's going to be around after the holiday catalog ends, so I would highly recommend that you pick up that ice glitter before it's gone for good at the end of the year. There you go, my friends. Aren't those fantastic cards? I hope you enjoyed that technique. It is really a lot of fun. And like I said, just a really great way to add some glimmer and shimmer to a card. I'm excited to share a little more with you about the cards. If you want to see the photos or get the measurements or the supply list, I have all of that waiting for you over at simplysimplestamping.com. If you will look for the November 23rd, 2019 blog post, that's where the photos will be, the measurements, everything that you need. And if you're ready to place an order, perhaps you've been eyeing that ice glitter, this would be a great time to add that to your wish list. You can just click a pick. Look for a pick in the supply list for the card of your choice. Click it. It's going to take you right to my online store. You can order what you need right there. Thank you everyone so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the cards. If you did, I would love a thumbs up on YouTube. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And hey, if you haven't already subscribed, it's a great day to become a subscriber. Click the great big red subscribe button and YouTube will let you know whenever I'm back with a new video. All right, my friends, thank you again for being here. I look forward to stamping with you on the next video. Make it a great day. Bye-bye.